RSVP has been a great time for me to be together with other rectors and pastors and to have some experienced pastors and leaders in the church come alongside us and really speak to the issues that we all face. The condition of our heart, the health of our souls, our priorities in ministry. It's really been one of the most significant things I've done in ordained ministry.
The AAC and LeaderWorks are combining to sponsor effectively learning communities of rectors who are coming together, 24 or so at a time, and encouraging one another, getting to know one another, sharing resources, problem solving, thinking deep thoughts, and trying to attend to our own spiritual life. And what we're hearing from these young leaders is that it's life-giving.
I've been going through a bit of a hard time, and to be around some other people that really do understand that has been really helpful.
It's been a wonderful opportunity for me to just learn from mature Christian leaders who have been leading congregations for far longer than I have. I'm only about 5 months into my rectorship of a new congregation, and I've been so encouraged, and I've learned so much from these experienced and godly leaders.
You know, seminary doesn't teach you the kinds of things that we've talked about here. How do you train people to be on vestry? How do you interact with the vestry? How do you as a leader develop a vision for your church?
They are being challenged in their own way to get better at the things that they need to do. They have to preach and teach and counsel and encourage and build staff and attend to their home life and their own personal life. And all of that is something that seminary couldn't even touch.
I have really appreciated the chance to be away with other senior pastors. We've talked about it some here where the fact that the senior pastor role, the rector role, really is a unique role within the church. And to be around a bunch of guys that understand that role and know what I'm going through has been really very meaningful to me, and I've really appreciated that.
I'm really encouraged by all the younger pastors, all the younger priests. I'm encouraged by the different types of churches. At St. Clement's we're kind of a strange thing in the Anglican church in that we're a large church and we're an old church, and we've been there a long time, and there's a lot of these younger pastors are putting all their energies into establishing new congregations or leaving old buildings and establishing those congregations. So I'm actually getting a lot of fire from them in that they're working so hard and trying to have that relational ministry to build up the church.
Life with God is an adventure, and you never know what it is you're going to run into. And so, yeah, it's useful to be with other people who have been on similar paths and find out what landmarks they've bumped into and seen and learned from. So
I think the biggest takeaway actually are the relationships that I've formed. Interestingly, I didn't expect that. I came here thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to hear some fresh vision that I can then take back to my congregation, and I'll get help coming up with an organizational chart. But I think what I'm finding is that I'm building relationships with other rectors where I could pick up the phone and say, hey, how did you handle this? Can you walk through this big decision with me and help me think through it?
My takeaway is that the need to focus on my soul care and making sure that I put some things in place that I've had in place in the past, a spiritual director, a confessor, these types of things that will ensure that my heart, my soul stays healthy. This is very clear that, on the trajectory that many pastors get on of just being busy and working and serving, that if you don't take care of your heart and your soul, your relationship with the Lord, nothing else is going to work out. You're not going to have a healthy church. You're not going to have a successful ministry. And the Lord is reminding me that I need to make sure that I keep the main things in my life. And if I'm not healthy, I can't be the husband and father I need to be, let alone the pastor that I'm called to be.
Well, the future for the RSVP gatherings we'll have 2 more that will lay the foundations, both of the spiritual life, the inner life of the leader, and then address these foundational issues that rectors of multi-staff congregations have. But beginning in 2018, we're going to go ahead and have probably larger gatherings, less frequency, but we'll focus on a particular issue, like how do we deal with secularism in our culture, in our worship, in our preaching, in our teaching. How do we deal with sexually broken people? How do we create, in very practical ways, generous people who are generous givers to a generous vision of God's love, His transforming love for North America?
We do see an ongoing life with RSVP in terms of regional and even national meetings.